Welcome to Ahara Arogya Adhyatma, the light of Samskara. Today we have Dr. Purnima Krishnamurthy, who is a renowned Ayurvedic practitioner, and she has her own Prajna Kutira. So let us listen about her herself and the Prajna Kutira and the importance from her only. Please, Dr. Purnima.
Namaste, Dr. Vijayalakshmi. Thanks for having me over to your beautiful program, Light of Samskara. I'm Dr. Purnima Krishnamurthy from Pragna Kutira, Mysore, and also the director of Abhigna International Academy of Ayurveda and Yoga in Mysore, and medical superintendent of Kaveri Ayurveda Medical College and Hospital. I also run a program called Raga, wherein it is to do with music for wellness.
Wow, that is really nice. The holistic approach.
Exactly.
Nowadays the women are getting married late, and then after getting married, they don't want to have children for another 3-4 days. So by then they are already 35, 38. It's okay for the film actors to getting pregnant when they are 38, 40. But the common people, if they get married late, there will be problem. And not only that, now the lifestyle has changed so much, and totally it is chaotic. And after that, they spend lakhs and lakhs of rupees for the IVF, and then to get that, and then get their own body also destroyed and the mind destroyed, and everything, they become like a mental wreck. So, what does our scriptures, whatever ancient sayings are there in Upanishad, please tell us.
Ma'am, namaste. This is a very pertinent question for today's day and age. In olden times, say at least about 50 years ago, there were no nuclear families. People lived together very joyously. And there would be a certain age, a right age for people to get married and also to procreate. And the main intention of marriage was actually procreation. To be to be saying this in the right sense. And people wouldn't delay getting pregnant unless there had to be some biological reason behind it. Either like there used to be like about the problem with the the girl, the wife, or the husband, or togetherly like about 10% of issues, or they stayed in different
places,
towns on work or whatever. Those would contribute. But in today's day and age, people who are so career oriented and have a lot of stress today, stress is the buzzword of the day.
Yes.
You talk to a kindergarten child, the child will say,
from a
leave me
child
alone,
to the
I'm
old
stressed.
man, everybody is stressed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The people, the bandwagon of people, who are stressed, anxious, frustrated, those who are in despair, who are resilient, is increasing by the day.
Yes.
Especially for women of the 90s, I must say, it has become a buzzword. And most people who are career oriented think that they need to,
they have to have lots of money, and then they have to have everything. And so today the dink syndrome has increased.
Exactly.
That is double income and no children. And that dink syndrome, and it is very well obvious. And I think one has to learn from you how to be happy and smiling and contented, and then have the good citizens to the country. Yeah, please go ahead.
Exactly.
So what is there in the scriptures in the Upanishad?
The Upanishad says that there is in the Ayurveda scriptures itself, it says what the right age to get married or start procreating. And then the Upanishads say that the Garbha samskara or the Garbha Dana, it's a ritual by itself. It is not something very carnal. It says that one has to procreate in a particular manner. Taittiriya Upanishad says, Akashad Vayuho, Vayor Agnihi, Agner Apaha, Adbhyat Prathivi, Pratibhyam Oshadeya, Oshadibhyo Annam, Annat Purushaka. So this way, the jiva that is waiting to get back to a womb, to a garbha, comes to the earth through all these Panchamahabhutas.
Rains,
And Yeah, and the man
Hmm.
conceives the jiva first,
Hmm.
makes it tapta, dharana, and then gives it as an offering to
Yeah,
his
that
wife.
is like a semen is prepared and then that is given, semen is given to the
Exactly, exactly.
wife. Yeah.
When it is done in this fashion, there are certain rituals also that have been explained in the last part of Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, wherein they equate the whole act of procreation to
Hmm.
yagna, wherein and
Okay. Okay.
the act of procreation, the coitus also has to be done with yagna bhava. Only
Okay.
then the progeny will be
Hmm.
of a good
Good
quality, will give a
quality.
good
Yeah.
element to the
Yeah.
society, isn't it?
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
there are certain rituals how a Rajaswala Stree has to take care of herself, what diet she needs to
Hmm.
take, what are the how her quality of life has to be. If
Hmm.
these things are followed as dictated in the Upanishads, then
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
think the progeny that comes, the child that comes to this earth, will be
Hmm.
the right element to the society, and it will be a very healthy pregnancy also. Unlike
Yes.
today,
Yes.
wherein it's very difficult to see a healthy pregnancy. Most
Yes.
people come to
Yes.
the obstetricians with complications only. Either
Lots of
there is
complications.
difficulty
Yeah.
Either
Yeah.
there is difficulty to conceive or to carry the pregnancy to full term. They
Hmm.
might conceive, but they're not able to carry it to full term,
So they'll
or
have
they might have other
abortions.
complications like like having blood pressure, high blood pressure, or diabetes during, or preeclampsia. All these things, chuckling in
Hmm.
during pregnancy. So it's very difficult or rare to see normal pregnancies only these days.
Yes. Yes.
This is because of our lifestyle and stress.
Yeah, I fully agree
And
with you because
yeah,
nowadays, but leave alone ritual, leave alone thinking it as a very religious or a very divine or pavitra thing. They go for the partying and then the both girls and the boys, they smoke and drink and, then they have, and ultimately what happens is the sperm of the boy who has taken alcohol, the number of sperms come down, the sperm count comes down, and the motility is also much less. The semen itself is not of a good quality to produce. And even if the lady becomes pregnant, see, for her, the fetal alcoholic syndrome will occur. So the baby's head will be small, the face will be very ugly, and that child becomes criminal. And this study has been done in the England, and they have shown that 40,000 women who are taking alcohol and their progeny, when they looked, most of them, they were criminals. That is, alcohol has a very bad effect on the brain also. So apart from
exactly.
that, the heart holes will be there, and lots of congenital defects will be there. And this, the younger generation who is aping at the west and doing the nonsense, and ultimately the child to be born is suffering. So for such people, what advice do you give? And what
I'm
is there
firstly
in our scriptures?
Our scriptures have always said that you need to lead a very neat life, a very clean life.
Yeah.
Ayurveda talks about, rising at Brahmi Muhurta, having a proper dinacharya, following the seasonal diet called Rutucharya, and Sadvrata, having good
Hmm.
conduct, and
Hmm.
being a good element in the society.
Hmm.
Alongside, we also need to cleanse our mind,
Mind.
let,
Yes.
you know, firstly slow down our breathing,
Hmm.
breathe with awareness, and then
Yes.
de-stress our mind. And to
Yes.
de-stress, there are so many hundred ways, including
Hmm.
music, wherein you can
Ye-
unwind. When you do these
Yeah.
things, then your mind is channelized and you
And
don't get into
pranayama also is there to distress us. Yeah.
exactly. And when these things are done, the
Hmm.
mind doesn't encourage you to do anything such as
Wrong.
mithya ahara and vihara.
Yes.
Mithya is not such things that are not
Wrong.
advocated in this thing.
Okay. Okay.
And many a time there is something called pragna parada. People know things are wrong, yet
Hmm.
they do things. It's called pragna parada.
Hmm.
We know
Okay.
what we are
Okay.
doing, yet we are instigated to do this is because
Yeah.
people think
The
that
society is like that.
yeah, that to de-stress, you should be having alcohol. You should be
Yeah.
taking some there should be some substance abuse, which can, or binge eating, whatever. As you said, when you abuse your body this way, naturally the offspring will have very many
All
defects,
sorts of
congenital
defects.
anomalies, and you cannot give a good element to the society.
Correct, 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 correct.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
yeah, it is so very wonderful, In fact, the Garbha Samskara, how it starts and what are the samskaras that, please let us know about that.
There are 16 samskaras, as
Shodasha.
mentioned in
Hmm.
Shodasha samskaras. First of it is itself Garbhadana samskara. As I said, how the dana of the shukra is done to the woman so that she conceives. The next of the samskaras is Pumsavana Vidhi, advocated in Ayurveda, which is for having a healthy offspring. Then comes Semantonayana, then comes Namakarana of the child, then comes Nishkramana. All these are, a couple of them from the Shodasha Samskaras. And definitely, if people can follow all these in the ritualistic way as advocated in the text, then their life will be very beautiful.
Okay, okay.
Everything has been given in our scriptures. We are
Hmm.
so distracted today
Yeah,
that we don't give value to all these things nor
yeah.
incorporate them in our lives.
Correct, correct. That is because they have forgotten that old is gold. And
Exactly.
my title of my YouTube is the Samskara, removing the
Exactly.
bad things and inculcating good things. And that,
Exactly.
instead of doing that, we are inculcating bad habits from the West and aping at the West and getting
Exactly.
into more trouble. And the trouble
Exactly.
leads to more trouble. So it's a vicious cycle. And that's how, you have given a wonderful description of the Garbha Samskara and what our scriptures say, and why it is so pious and so important to have the proper children. Because unless the good citizens are produced, the whole country will be destroyed. And that's how,
There,
people should realize having a child is not only for you, not only for the family, it is for the nation. And that
yes.
mindset has to be changed, So we have to go back to our ancient days, and you have given a very beautiful intro to this vast subject of infertility. And I think we'll talk again in the future what are the causes of infertility and how it can be treated and how Ayurveda helps the people to overcome all those things. And
And
thank you
also
very
how
much.
a
Yeah.
pregnant woman has to behave, take care of herself throughout the pregnancy, what her charya has to be, garbhini
Oh,
charya as we call it. All these can be definitely discussed in future, ma'am. I'd
yes,
love to
yes.
be on your channel. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Namaste.
Thank you. Namaskar.
Namaste.